listening to the Arkansas AgCast, where we discuss the latest news, trends, and issues impacting Arkansas farmers and ranchers. Our show is brought to you by the Arkansas Farm Bureau Federation and hosted by Rob Anderson and Jason Brown.
Rob, I don't believe my eyes. We are back in the podcast studio.
Yeah.
For me, it's been like...
You've been gone for a while.
Not since last month.
Yeah.
I was pulling our things together for today. I'm like, September 1st. No, I wasn't here for that. Like,
Well,
I mean, it's been a long...
Our ratings are in the tank because you haven't been here.
Well, probably through the roof. But yeah, it's been a while. Good to be back.
Good to be here as well. Nice to see you.
Yeah, we held off last week, right before Labor Day weekend.
It was a little holiday weekend coming up. There was a lot going on, so we took some time to...
Yeah, took the day off.
I think we dusted off the sign at the studio.
I was out the week before that, I think, doing some work.
Well, it's been a busy time, and it's a busy time right now across agriculture.
Yes, it is.
Because harvest.
It is. It is. Harvest is upon us. Every time I open Instagram, I see more and more combines and tractors and equipment moving through the field. Rice and corn, probably.
And you see it on the roads as well, and it's something we've been talking about. Being safe on the roads and looking for that equipment and being very careful when you come on that equipment on our highways.
Yep. Yeah, we've got a campaign coming out in the coming weeks that will help educate folks about how equipment can move or not move, for that matter, and sort of how to best share the road so that everybody gets home safely.
Hey, I understand. You're in that hurry. You're driving down. Let's say you're going down South Arkansas. You're going through the Delta, and you just you're ready to keep going.
Yeah,
get where you're going, but you come upon some of that big equipment, and it's not moving very fast. But that's someone getting the food out of the fields to put on your table at some point. So they want to get home safe. You need to get there safe. So be very careful. And like I said, we'll have those. Like you said, we'll have those tips coming out soon about what to do in those situations.
Yeah, I think we'll have some of that here in the program. Make that a part. We are going to talk about harvest. I've got a bit of news, just an update of harvest. Sure. What else? Yesterday, we had a wonderful lunch out at Rusty Tractor Vineyards.
Yes.
For our Ag Appreciation Luncheon.
Yeah, it's called the Ag Appreciation Lunch. We're just saying thanks to all the people who do work hard for agriculture in Arkansas every day. There were people from across the spectrum there. Economic development, Arkansas Economic Development, state departments, the Ag Department of Agriculture, legislators, all of those people, what they do for agriculture. We just like to say thanks every year. So we have this luncheon. That was a great venue, by the way.
Yeah, it was nice. Brian, if you are a cattle farmer, were you happy about yesterday's lunch?
Oh, extremely. It was
big steaks.
I mean,
first bite, I was like, "Oh man, this is a good one."
Yeah,
it was very good.
Mel's Steaks out of Poinsett County. Yeah. I mean, and if you've never had a Mel's steak, it's about the size of this iPad.
Yeah.
Ribeyes, and they came down.
My apologies to the potato farmers. I did not partake because it was so big. The steak was so big. So
that's all right. Hey, there was some rice.
We had rice.
I did have a little rice.
Yeah. So dirty rice it looked like, which is good stuff.
Well, you had what, 3 of those Mel's steaks? 2, 3?
Well, the equivalent of
it felt like
it was huge. It took up the whole plate. Like I have no place for anything else.
I know. I told the folks at my table, I said, I'm going to tell you before you go up there, you're probably going to need to get the steak and come back.
Yeah,
and then go back and get salad or sides or whatever, because you're not going to have room.
You're working with that little outside of the circle.
Yeah. It was good. It was good.
Yeah. Today's podcast brought to you by Mel Steaks.
Yeah. It was good.
Man, they are good. And they cook those things over there. And then they haul them over here 2+ hours. I don't know how they make them hang around or
it was good.
Stay good for that long. Anyway, well, now that we've talked about steaks, I saw this and I just thought it was interesting. I'm trying to motivate some folks in my life who may be getting a little bit older and slowing down to stay mobile.
Are you talking about me?
No, come on. I know you. I see you take the stairs every day.
I do.
So,
I
you
do.
know. No, this walk across Arkansas, I thought this was pretty cool. This is a free exercise program from the U of A Division of Ag that starts Monday. The 12th, I believe. And this lasts for 8 weeks. The goal of this program is to help adults get 150 minutes of physical activity per week. You can sign up at walk.uada.edu. Anyway, I know a lot of folks, the weather's getting right. When I walked outside this morning around about 5:30, I mean, it was like 63 degrees. So now's the time to get out and get active.
That's right. I don't know. Can we talk about steaks again?
Well, we could put one on the end of a rope so you can out walk.
Yeah, that's what I need.
Yeah. And
Last but not least, we have welcomed a new employee in our department, public relations department this week. A lot of people in Arkansas have heard of this person, Chad Hooten.
Yeah.
And in fact, he's in our live audience.
Sure
today,
is.
But
Sure
he's going to be
is.
joining
Sure
us.
is.
Yeah, we have a live studio audience. He'll be joining us in a couple of weeks to talk about what brought him into the world of agriculture.
Cool.
What he was interested in doing and what he's learning so far. So we look forward to talking to him.
Yeah, Chad, glad to have you. I bet we'll talk football at some point.
I don't know if that
you can't get away from
may
that.
come up sports, but we're going to talk about his shift from the world of publishing, Hooten Publishing business, and Hooten's Arkansas football, and all that he's been doing for years, and now what he's going to be doing here, talking about sharing farming stories.
It's all communications, just moving from pigskin to pig farmers, I guess.
Yeah.
There you go. Look at that.
All right, I apologize to everyone.
Wow.
I apologize to everyone listening for that.
Dad joke time.
All right, well, that is probably our sign to move on to
time
the
for news.
Yeah.
It's time to get another gauge on how farmers are feeling as we hit harvest time. We talked about harvest time earlier. Well, the latest Purdue CME Group Ag Economy Barometer is out for August, and actually there's a little good news. The commodity growers across the country are feeling a little bit better about their prospects for the coming year than they were through much of the summer. There's a lot of ups and downs this summer, but mostly down. But they do still have some big concerns, and overall farmer sentiment is a lot gloomier than it was a year ago.
Okay.
Still, the new survey highlighted today in the successful farming. I get a lot of good news from there.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Well, there was a shift to more farmers expecting a better financial performance in 2022. More than half of the survey respondents said their biggest concern for the coming year was still those rising input costs.
Yeah.
Still a big issue. A significant number of respondents said they were also worried about rising interest rates, which is something happening to deal with all those rising costs. So they're getting hit two ways there. Input availability and lower output prices. The impact of inflation on their families' expenditures in the year ahead was also a major concern. One interesting note from the survey was a slight rise in the number of farmers who indicated they were in talks with companies offering payments for sequestering carbon. However, another interesting point here, however, only about 1% had indicated that they'd actually signed a carbon contract. So it seems like more talking about it. Will it mean more happening? Don't know. The Ag Economy Barometer Index is calculated each month from 400 U.S. agricultural producers, their responses to a telephone survey. The latest survey was conducted August 15th through 19th. So it's been an interesting thing to watch. We've talked about it a couple of times because this summer in particular has been kind of a rough one, one with those input costs, especially playing a role throughout. And so it's been mostly down. This is a little uptick, but there's still some concerns out there.
Yeah, I think the conflict in Russia and Ukraine certainly, causing some heartburn with the input costs. I believe in the Inflation Reduction Act, there was a couple of points that were meant to address input costs, but no signs of much relief. I mean, there have been some lowering of costs there, but
some of the gas prices have gone down, but it's not happening fast, and it never does. And so this could be an issue for this year. And I think what you're seeing is that they're concerned of how long that lasts.
Yeah.
Do we get some relief from that?
Yeah. Well, carbon market's a topic at my lunch table yesterday at the Ag Appreciation Lunch.
I heard about
that. That's interesting. All right. Well, our friend, moving on, our friend George Jared with Talk Business and Politics has some reporting out this week on the latest Farmland Values Survey from the USDA. George's report notes that farmland values in Arkansas are up once again, with 2022 seeing an increase of nearly 5% over 2021. Ag land values in the natural state are ringing in at $3,550, $3,500-ish dollars per acre, which is a bit lower than the national average of $3,800 per acre. Nationally, land is up more than 12%. So we're up 5% here in the state, 12% nationally. George spoke with Scott Stiles, extension economist for the U of A System Division of Agriculture, about some of the reasons behind the increase. Scott said that the increase is largely the result of high inflation and strong commodity prices. Cash rent in the state is averaging $145 per acre, with some areas of the state, he said mostly north of I-40, seeing $180 per acre, depending on the location. Arkansas has an estimated 14 million farmland acres, with about 6.2 million dedicated to row crops and roughly about 42,000 farms statewide. That's a new number we'll report on here in just a minute. So yeah, there you go. Cropland is up again, which is tough for farmers.
It's actually been an interesting thing to follow for a while because there's a lot of interest in farmland and a lot more investors in farmland, and things like that happening. I happened to sit at a table at our luncheon the other day with someone from the ag department who dealt in the numbers like these,
really,
the value of land, and
so
it was an interesting conversation. But,
well, this article, if you read it in full, which you can at Talk Business and Politics, George says that basically, or maybe it's Scott who said it in as part of the interview, a lot of folks see farmland as sort of inflation proof, and in an economy where the market seems to ebb and flow frequently, this may be sort of I don't know, immune to that in a way.
And people are always looking for those kind of investments where can they put their money that isn't going to be fluctuating wildly. So
anyway.
Well, now for some news on an interesting program from American Farm Bureau.
Cool.
The American Farm Bureau Foundation for Agriculture has partnered with Grow with Google to train 2,000 teachers on digital skills. This is just a fascinating idea and an interesting program. The goal of the effort is to reach 200,000 students in rural communities by the end of the 2023 school year. As part of this program, the foundation is bolstering agricultural education curriculum through the Farm Bureau Foundation Fellows Program. That's a fellowship that will allow educators in rural or agricultural regions to teach students where their food comes from. It's an 8-month program, and fellows will develop place-based curriculum that incorporates agriculture, technology, and key digital skills into applied digital skills lessons. The lessons are available for free to all educators interested in teaching students about local fuel and fiber, while also giving students a strong foundation in digital skills. Fellows will receive a stipend, Chromebooks for their classroom, and one-to-one instruction from Google experts.
Nice.
Now, if there are any interested educators out there, today is the deadline to apply. That's the important part here. If anyone is interested, it's just an interesting program, worth mentioning anyway. It's this sort of thing is important, but if there is someone interested in participating, today is the deadline. Learn more and get that done by visiting agfoundation.org/projects/fellowship. It's agfoundation.org/projects/fellowship.
And as in today, that would be those who are participating in this live, because the audio that will post tomorrow.
That's true.
Day too late. So
if you're listening on Friday,
good call.
You missed it. Sorry. No, but this is something to keep an eye on. I'm sure this is a new. This program is going to be something to watch. So
sure.
If you don't get to participate in it now, it's a great idea and a great program, and we'll probably talk about something else like it. American Farm Bureau Foundation for Agriculture supports a lot of these great programs, but this one in particular is very interesting for rural communities.
Yeah, that and the Chromebook, Pete. I mean, to be able to get those Chromebooks for your students is really huge.
Well, let's step away from the news for a second to learn a bit about our annual Farm Bureau membership.
Your Arkansas Farm Bureau membership supports our work on behalf of Arkansas farmers, ranchers, and rural communities around the state. From youth leadership programs and academic scholarships to hunger relief and disaster support, and much more. You can make a difference and be a champion for your community. Join today at arfb.com.
Did you know that your $40 annual Arkansas Farm Bureau membership contributes to the work being done in your local community directly? We've talked about this a lot here on the podcast, and you can learn more by calling your county office or simply joining today at arfb.com. Again, that's $40 for an annual membership, and we'd love to have you part of the organization.
No deadline on that. Join. Join today, join tomorrow, join whenever, because there's a lot of great things you get with that membership.
Yep, absolutely, including subscription to the Front Porch
magazine.
Yeah. So that's probably what we hear most about. What I hear a lot about is Front Porch.
You hear us talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get back to the news. The 2022 edition of the Arkansas Agriculture Profile was released last week, and it shows some encouraging data for Arkansas producers. Side editorial note, when I saw this come up this week, I got pretty excited. I love seeing these numbers.
Yeah.
And there's some fun stuff in here. We're going to cover some of it. So get ready. There's a lot of numbers in this, but I think it'll be pretty fun to see where Arkansas ranks in the nation. But the report is authored by Jenny Pop, Interim Associate Dean of the U of A College Honors College, and Leah English, who works in the Department of Agriculture, Economics, and Agribusiness. The report contends that ag remains the state's top industry, contributing $19 billion annually to our state's economy. Additionally, we're still the nation's top producer of rice, and we rank third in broilers, cotton, and cottonseed. We're number 4 in catfish, number 5 in turkey production, number 7 in peanuts, and number 8 in chicken eggs.
We're like the SEC of agriculture.
Yeah, I know. Well,
we're just dominating the top 10.
Come on, Chad's in here. Can you really do that with Chad in the room? Chad, do you agree with that sentiment?
That sounds good.
You sound like a sports analyst. Man,
doing my best.
And I'll throw in number.
Some people care about the sports football rankings. We care about rankings.
I think it's fun.
We're waiting with bated breath.
That's it. I'll tell you, number 5 in turkey production was kind of a surprise for me. But anyway, back to it. According to the report, the state has around 42,000 farms spanning 14 million acres, with an average farm size of 333 acres. 57% of the state is comprised of forests. Had lunch with Joe Fox yesterday. I know he'd appreciate us including that stat. Arkansas consistently ranks in the top 1/3 of the nation for agricultural cash farm receipts, and in 2020, the state ranked 15th in the nation with $8.2 billion in total ag cash receipts. To see the full report and read more about the state's top industry, visit uada.edu.
All right. That was nice.
Yeah.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
Again, we'll be waiting for new rankings.
Sounds like we need to start a fantasy agriculture.
I'm getting a hat that says like turkey number 5.
Do they have fantasy farming leagues?
I mean,
all right.
Maybe we can do it.
We'll see. Now, though, we've got some details about a big Arkansas Farm Bureau event coming up next week. This is something we've been talking about for a while. You've heard us mention it, just kind of mentioning the date. It's approaching. It's next Wednesday, September 14th.
That's correct.
Is that correct? Here in Little Rock at the 4 Points Sheraton Hotel. Now we've got some details to talk about, and it's good stuff. For example, the keynote speaker will be Amberly Snyder, who is pretty well known in agriculture and in particular rodeo circles. She started barrel racing with horses at the age of 7 when her family moved from California to Utah. And then she started competing in junior rodeos through high school, winning many titles and honors, including a national one. It's an interesting title.
I was going to say, do not skip over that.
I wasn't going to skip this. I just had to preface it with, I hadn't heard this before. But it's the National Little Britches World All-Around Cowgirl title in her senior year. I don't know. It sounds cool to me.
Somebody around here is getting the nickname Little Britches.
Little Britches. She was also Utah FFA state president in 2009. And then in 2010, she was involved in a rollover truck accident that left her paralyzed from the waist down. This, however, did not stop her. She competes still in barrel racing in Women's Professional Rodeo Association. And interestingly, there's even a Netflix movie based on her life called Walk Ride Rodeo. I haven't seen that, but now I'm kind of.
I know Shaylee was very excited when we found out
she saw the name. She knew her right away.
Yeah.
She was in Yellowstone. I mean,
I did not know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, look at that.
Yeah,
Philip is knocking it out of the park here.
So
it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Good keynote address. That'll be interesting, but there's more than that. It all kicks off at 9. Attendees will be able to hear from Arkansas Secretary of Agriculture Wes Ward and Dr. D.Q. Fields, VP of the University of Arkansas Division of Agriculture. Also, there'll be Dr. Dwayne Goldman, USDA Senior Advisor for Racial Equity. Met Dr. Goldman several times. A very nice guy.
Yeah.
Along with Dr. Ron Rainey at the University of Arkansas. There'll be a panel discussions on property and heirs featuring representatives from the National Ag Law Center at the University of Arkansas, as well as the FSA Outreach Office. There'll be also be some personal success stories from farmers, a discussion of state and federal resources, that are available to farmers, and a lot more. It's a great lineup.
Yeah,
I think it was worth the wait. We've been waiting to put that out there, and it was worth the wait. Head to arfb.com to find the registration link. You'll see a pop-up promo on the homepage, so make it easy to find. The event is free, but registration is required. So get on there and sign up today because it's a great lineup.
And lunch is included, I believe.
I believe you are correct.
Yeah, please come out and join us. I know Philip was joking with me earlier. I know we promoted the event yesterday on social media and Amberley's. I think that was the first time we really made any public mention of that. And he said, man, I don't know what you guys did. We had 20 new registrations yesterday.
I think it caught some attention yesterday.
Yeah, so really glad to be proud, honestly, to be hosting this event and have it here in Little Rock. All right, let's round out the news today with an update on harvest here in Arkansas, as I promised. Thanks to Megan Grebner at Brownfield Ag News for the roundup. Harvest is underway, as we mentioned, for corn, rice, and soybeans in Arkansas. The corn harvest is currently at 30% complete, while the rice harvest is a bit behind that, and that's okay, at 11%. And soybean harvest is really just getting underway, which is all that's to be expected, as you know. Soybeans are 38% coloring and 19% dropping leaves. 64% of the crop is rated good to excellent, something we've been reporting on throughout the year. The rice crop is 97% headed and 50% mature, with 73% rated good to excellent. Cotton is rated 74% good to excellent, with 41% of the bolls opening. And peanuts are rated 82% good to excellent. The second cutting of hay is at about 93%. And the rest is just, is all sort of business as usual there, all things considered. I think 27% of the alfalfa hay is rated good to excellent. Vegetables are rated 67% good to excellent. Topsoil moisture is finally mostly adequate, and I think things are where we want them to be, as long as we don't gum up harvest too much with a bunch of rain. If you're out and about and see harvest activities, we talked about this at the top of the program, snap a photo and share it with us on ARFB social channels. But remember, there's lots of equipment out on the roads and highways this time of year. Give plenty of space and time.
Right.
These guys don't always have turn signals, just depending on what piece of equipment it is. You may not be able to get over a bridge at the same time, or you don't want to go into a curve with that going on. So just really be mindful, be patient. Everybody wants to get home safely, just like you.
And again, we'll have some. We went out and we went up, got a lot of great shots for this campaign that we're doing to show this and to illustrate how how you should handle these road situations. I think it's going to be very useful for people.
Yeah, and if you do get beautiful photos of harvest, one of the best times of year in this state, please seriously tag us. We'd love to share it. We'd love to share the work that you're doing out there. Just make that part of.
So I have something in common with the rice crop this year. I too am about 50% mature. That's about it.
There you go.
That's a stretch right there.
Yeah. Well, before we get out of here, it is a solemn day.
Yes.
Not to step on anybody's toes.
We didn't mention it at the top of the show.
We did not, but we should.
The Queen has passed.
The Queen has passed away today. And I saw, right before we came down, I saw a really cool picture of Buckingham Palace. I wonder if y'all saw it. A double rainbow popped up
wow.
right after the announcement of her death.
And she reigned a long time.
70 years?
Yeah, something like that.
Do you have any facts for us related to this?
Yeah. It's all overshadowed by that today, but I mean, it's a heavy day in history. There's a lot of things that happened on September 8th.
Okay.
We'll see how well you're doing good with the sports stuff, but we'll see how well you do with the. Rob's usually real good with the year.
Well, U.S. Open was this week too, so I know he's already been thinking about.
Yeah, watching a little tennis, collecting some trivia.
That's it.
That's low hanging fruit. I decided to stay away from tennis entirely because there's a lot of that. I mean, on this day, the Oprah Winfrey Show first broadcast nationally in this year.
1989.
87?
Close. It was 86.
Oh, wow. Okay. Nice job, bro.
Thanks.
Also, TV news. Star Trek, the TV show, premiered in this year on television.
What was that, 66?
66.
Really?
Now, for the win on that, though, which what did it debut on? What was the premiere on? What
is this, a network?
What network?
Was it NBC?
NBC.
Wow.
See, most people think CBS because Paramount purchased the rights, later on, and now it's under CBS. But okay.
On it today.
He usually is. He's good.
I know.
With his history.
He is really good.
The first permanent European settlement in the U.S. was founded at St. Augustine, Florida.
Been there. Have you been there?
Mm-mm.
I've been
Beautiful
through
place.
it.
Interesting place.
What year?
Oh man, I'm not even going to embarrass myself by guessing.
1565.
Oh wow, I was going to go 16 something, but
yeah,
you can't even say close because it's a century.
I've got two more.
Right.
Two more. I got to keep going because they're very interesting. But Michelangelo's statue of David was unveiled in Florence in this year on this day.
1325. I don't know.
Not quite. It was a little bit later than that. He's not quite that old. 1504.
I said 15.
You were trying to get there.
Yeah.
And U.S. President Gerald Ford pardoned former President Richard Nixon of all federal crimes in related to the Watergate scandal on this day.
Gerald Ford would have been
75?
78.
76.
Close.
Yeah.
Close. Go the other way.
74.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
All right.
You got it. That's all I got for you. I kept the other ones away. So.
Well, that was a fun day.
Yeah.
That was a lot of stuff.
There's that. I tell you,
and you took some stuff out.
I kept scrolling. I'm like, man, there's a lot of stuff. I don't know what to pick here. So.
Wow. All right. Well,
long live King Charles.
Yeah,
right.
No doubt.
The third.
All right. Well, that wraps up the news for this week. Thanks for following along with the Arkansas AgCast. We're grateful for you taking the time to watch and listen.
Always. And remember, you can catch the live stream every Thursday at 2 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you turn on your notifications to get those alerts, and listen to the audio version on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, the Arkansas AgCast is brought to you by the Arkansas Farm Bureau and hosted by me, Jason Brown.
And me, Rob Anderson.
Our show is produced by Brian Pistole and Matthew Magdafrown. That's
Thank you to our live studio audience of Chad Hooten, who nobody saw, but we'll see in a couple of weeks.
That's right. All right.
Thanks, everyone.